welcome to another edition of the Vibrant Lady Talk series. So today I have a female pleasure advocate. I think it's not just pleasure, it's pleasure. The kind of pleasure she wants to talk about. Okay, so I have a writer, Olivia Sose, in the house, and trust me, she has a lot on her plate to dish out to every one of us. So there's a lot for us to learn and relearn on today's edition of the Vibrant Lady Talk series. So let's go, Olivia. How are you doing?
I'm great. Good afternoon. It's so great to be here, actually.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see you, and I love how colorful you're looking. Yeah, you're filled with colors today, and I like it.
Thank you.
All right, so I know you to be a reader. I know you to be a writer. I know you to be a scholar. But then, I know you to be a strong advocate of female pleasurable tools, equipment, you know? And I've just been wondering, when I knew her, she was still in university, and I was wondering, how does she keep up, has so much to write about females and what females should know. And I'm just wondering, what's sparked up that interest in that area?
Okay, actually, for me, it was just that I wanted more women to also have pleasure from sex, just as men do. It's a given, especially for us heterosexual women. We women that are not attracted to, same sex, women that have to have sex with men. There's something we call the orgasm gap. It's there's a huge gap for when women, same-sex relationships, they're able to achieve an orgasm. But when it comes to heterosexual relationship, women, it's like there's this huge gap of women who have never had an orgasm, or they rarely do. But when it comes to men, it's a given. Yeah, it's a thing. Like, in fact, if a man comes, then sex is over, basically.
So for you, was it all about experience or from your research? How did you find out that there is this gap in the female sexual pleasure or what have you? Is it from research or was it from experience?
Okay, so I'm going to say both. So from experience, I realized that I never orgasmed via vaginal penetration, which is the usual when you're having sex with a man. For a man, his penis is the ultimate. It's the ultimate tool. So whenever I had sex with a man, I wouldn't come, and I began to do a research about it, like what's the issue, and I discovered by also exploring my body that vaginal orgasm doesn't do it for me, vaginal penetration doesn't do it for me. It was clitoris or nipple stimulation. So I started talking about it on social media, trying to educate other women too, because for a lot of men, they just want to penetrate and they expect you to get satisfied, but oftentimes it's not that way for women.
Okay, so I am also a researcher, and I just want to find out, when you were trying to advocate for all of this on social media, or when you went through social media, which was where I actually noticed you as well, did you get complaints from lots of women? What was your findings, or what were your findings?
Oh yes, surely. I mean, when you do what I used to do, and of course a lot of women will confide in you, so trust is a very, very, very essential commodity for what I do.
I just want to know the percentage of women because it's something to carry out a research, it's something to be an advocate of something, and you're seeing that, actually there is a gap, because you're seeing lots of messages in your DM, people looking for help and all of that. So from all of the times when you had the time to do that, did you notice some women coming, or lots of women, or a few women? Just want to find
lots of women came with the same problems. They were not getting satisfied. Married women, single women, people who have been in marriages for a long time, people who had just gotten married, people in relationships, they were not getting satisfied. So that gap was definitely there.
All right, so Olivia, from your research, you found out that even married women are having difficulties in having pleasure while making out or making love with their partners. So let's focus on them, because they have the license to enjoy what sex should be, right? So what has it been so far?
Okay, so actually, I don't believe, or I don't agree with you when you say married women have the license. Yes.
In terms of the word, well, you know where I'm coming from. The world we are in.
Well, the world we're in now is also very diverse, and I think maybe you're coming from the religious perspective.
Okay.
Yeah, but a lot of people do not subscribe to that. So as long as you're old enough, you're legally able to, you should and you can enjoy sex if you want to and engage in it. Yeah, so but let's focus on married people, right? So a lot of married women, come to me to say, oh, I'm not able to have an orgasm, my husband is not able to satisfy me. And when you say, okay, can you describe how you're because I like to know the root problem. I like to see, okay, what's the root issue? When I say, can you tell me how you and your husband have sex? And I noticed that there was not a lot of foreplay. For most men, it's like they kiss you, they touch your boobs, and then straight up they're trying to look if you're wet. They're trying to check if you're wet, and if you are, they just penetrate. So that was like the process. So I was like, could you help him by prolonging it so that you get satisfaction, seeing as penetration does not do it for you? So could he maybe focus more on nipple stimulation or clit stimulation? In fact, personally, I will not allow a man to me except I come. Personally, that ensures that I'm satisfied and you are satisfied. So it doesn't matter how long it takes, you're going to wait until I come, until you now come, because I'm also looking out for myself. So you have to communicate this. There's also the lack of foreplay and also lack of communication. And I would understand why a married woman would not want to, communicate openly.
Why wouldn't that? I thought they said marriage opens up every. Why wouldn't? That's why I said they have the license. No, I think that's where I'm coming from. When I said you have the license to, so there is nothing you should be ashamed of, right? So why not communicate with your husband? Because I find it worrisome when you hear married women leave their husbands and start doing gigs, man.
Okay, so why do you think that? Well, I actually think that men would feel that way because it is what it is, in my opinion.
Sex toys are not a competition. They're not what are they they're inanimate things. Why
it's
would
the
you
husband's
feel
responsibility to satisfy his woman. Why should a sex toy be doing it?
Well, it is your responsibility to also provide for your home. So what do? Does the provision just come from your belly? No, you go out and work for it, right? It's the same thing with sex toys. It's like an accessory, a bedroom accessory to help. It's a bedroom accessory to help, because if you tell a man to flick your clitoris, after 5 minutes he might get tired. But a vibrator, as long as it's fully charged, it won't be tired. So I don't see it as, it's weird. It's really weird when men see sex toys as competition, because it's there to help you achieve the aim.
Do you think that the men will not agree? Because, well,
and the funny thing, most men buy sex toys for their side chicks, their wives, but they're more willing to buy with their side chicks.
Men have met you to buy sex toys for their wives?
Yes, some men have.
Wow, what a word.
Yes, some men have.
I'm amazed. Is it like they are not really around, or? No,
they want to play, they want to have fun. It's fun. It's spicing up your relationship, and it's helping you understand your woman's body more. The problem with a lot of sexual relationships is that we don't understand each other's bodies. Now, when a man carries everybody, not just men, we carry our previous experience from our previous relationship to this new person, but this new person is not
the old one.
Is not the old person. So, for example, my old man would love nipple stimulation, but for my new man, in my new relationship, his nipples might not really stimulate him. So now what I have to do is I have to learn his body. But a lot of men are not willing to learn a woman's body. They just assume that, oh, because fingering worked for Nkechi, it's definitely going to work for Ada. But no, it doesn't. So that's the thing. A lot of couples have to be willing to learn afresh. You have to learn what works for this person. And then there is also the things can become monotonous in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
You've been doing this every time. It can get boring. I mean, we do our jobs every day and we get boring. When you do something over and over and over again, it gets boring. So you could want to spice things up. So, you could introduce sex toys, for example. It helps a lot.
When you were selling, when you used to sell, the number of people that buy, more of single girls or married women, or when you want to look at the percentage of people who really bought?
Okay, so generally more women bought sex toys, but I will not be able to say, oh, were they married women or single women, because oftentimes I don't like to ask that question, except you want to have a conversation with me and you're willing to tell me that. But I don't ask, are you married, are you single? No. What do you want and what do you like? What I do most times is recommend what I think will be best for them. So I ask you, what part of your body do you really enjoy being touched? And they say, oh, my cleats, my nipples, my neck, and then I recommend things that you could use for those places. But it was mostly women that were my customers. Mostly women. A lot of people say, oh, men buy more sex. That was not true for me. Do men have more purchasing power when, for example, a woman will come to me and she'll want to buy a vibrator of 15,000 naira, a vibrator of 20,000 naira, that one-time purchase. But a man will come and he would want to buy multiple vibrators.
What is he using it to?
I don't know. When men are making purchases, it will be like 200k, 300k. But for a woman, it could be like 30k, thereabout. But for men, they always buy in bulk.
So really, people actually buy sex toys in Port Harcourt, in Nigeria.
Oh my God, yes. Okay,
yes, so that for a fact. We are trying to establish facts here. So people actually buy sex toys.
Of course.
Married women buy sex toys.
Yes.
And their husbands are aware. Most of their husbands are aware.
So I wouldn't know.
Oh, okay.
Some of them will say, oh, how can I hide it? My husband doesn't know. They do tell me that. And I would say, oh, I will not be, but I would maybe recommend a more discreet toy, like an egg vibrator. It's easy to hide that. I would recommend that.
It's amazing. So generally, did you receive, we live in a world where people criticize what they even admire, people criticize what they love, what they do in secret. So were you criticized at some point, a young school leaver writing so much about sex, pleasure and all of that? Were you criticized? Were people trying to make you feel like you were doing something that's so awkward or weird or something like that?
Oh yes, I was constantly criticized, shamed, attacked. It was a whole lot of headache. I mean, if you go through my spam messages, my messages, requests, it was a lot of insults from women, men, everybody. You're going to go to hell. I was harassed a lot for what I did, for selling sex toys. It was so my advice would be for more people to be open in communication, especially when it comes to sexual relationships. You should be able to tell your partner, and men especially, who are the ones who the women have to open to, you should be less judgmental. I mean, there is nothing shameful about your wife wanting sex. There is nothing shameful about your wife wanting it rough. So don't be like, oh, I don't want to have rough sex with my wife. So, no, if she wants rough sex, be rough with her. If she wants to play.
The man does not want his wife to have rough sex.
Well, men do now need to change their mindset. You have to be more open, because if you're not, you're still going to have these issues. More unsatisfied women, and then more women cheating. Whereas you both can satisfy yourself, you're going outside for rough sex. Whereas your wife wants rough sex, why not just, rather than cheat, give your wife rough sex? I mean, problem solved, really. I'm not saying that's the sole reason why people cheat. No, but I'm saying that if people are more open with communication and people communicate more and are honest with themselves, it will solve a lot of problems.
Okay.
Yes, and sex toys is not the enemy. Sex toy is not the competition. No, it's not competing with you at all.
Well, alright, so at the end of the day, you advocate for sex toys?
100% more people should use sex toys. More people, especially women. I mean, you keep on waiting, hoping that he learns. Go get yourself a sex toy. If you have peace of mind, he has peace of mind. Happy home.
Okay, so at the end of the day, I don't know what you're thinking, but whatever it is you are thinking, all you need to do is to drop your thoughts and opinion on the comment section, and Olivia will definitely come and educate you for more. Well, I'm still wondering, and I want to believe that you out there, you're not shying away from talking with your husband exactly how you want it or what you want from your husband. That's what it should be, right?
Yes, 100%.
Right, so what are your final words?
More women should be less ashamed of their pleasure. There's too much shame with women's pleasure. It should not be so. We need to no longer be ashamed of seeking and taking, because we give pleasure, so you should also take, and you deserve it. Today.
I don't know if that probably take that out. Alright, so do you agree, do you disagree with her on this particular sensitive topic? All you need to do is to drop your thoughts and opinion on the comment section. I will definitely dialogue from there. Until I see you next week, all you need to do is to stay vibrant.